Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to our lecturer. So today I'm going to present about our case study, which is a traditional procurement system in practice. So we use commercial building, which is a two-story KFC restaurant with drive-through facility in Terminal Pahang. So now move on to our team member, which is including me. My name is Adi Usaini bin Omri. Next, Muhammad Fahmi bin Muhammad Fazli. Next, Syahri Mami Syahidan. And the last one is Muhammad Fakri bin Azmi. So next, moving on to our project background. So our title is Cadangan Membina dan Menyiapkan Sebuah Restoran Makanan Segera KFC 2 tingkat di Lot 266 Bukit Perak, daerah Temerloh Pahang. So our building type is a two-story fast food restaurant with drive-through. The tender period start on 1 April 2011 till 12 April 2011. The consultant itself will prepare the tender document, which is AS2 Consult Sendirian Berhad. The scope of work will be divided, which is preliminaries, piling works, building works, pylons, external work, provisional sum, and the last one is mechanical and electrical works. In order to make sure the project is executed smoothly, there are parties involved in this project. The first one is KFC, which is the client itself. Shah Architect as the architect, Nusa Network as the civil and structure engineer, Perunde IMS as the M&E engineer, and the last one is AS2 Concept Sdn Berhad as the quantity surveyor. The main contractor is appointed after the evaluation of tender.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fahmi bin Muhammad Fazli. My metric number is 2024249182. So, I will explain the procurement system adapted for this project. This project uses the traditional procurement system, which is also known as the Design Bid Build or DBB procurement method. The main characteristic of this system is that the design phase and construction phase are carried out separately. First, the client appoints a team of consultants, including the architect, engineers, and quantity surveyor. They are responsible for preparing the complete design, drawings, specification, and tender documents before any contractors is appointed. Once all the design documents are complete, the project proceeds to the tendering stage, where contractors submit their bids. After the tender evaluation is complete, the most suitable contractor is selected to carry out the construction work. Next, this procurement system was suitable for this project because it gave the client greater control over the project design and quality. Since every contractor priced the same complete design, it also ensured fair competition and more accurate cost comparison. In fact, the traditional procurement system is still the most widely used procurement method in Malaysia because it provides clear responsibilities and strong cost control before construction begins. Okay, next, after deciding on the procurement system, the next stage is the tendering system used to appoint the contractor. So, for this project, adapted the selective tendering system, which is also known as tendering by invitation. Instead of inviting every contractor, only contractor with suitable qualification, relevant experience, and sufficient resources were invited to participate. Okay, so for this project, a total of 23 contractors were invited to submit their tenders. So after the initial assessment, only 9 contractors were shortlisted for detailed evaluation. The tender period was from 1 April until 12 April 2011 with a tender deposit of 5,000 ringgit and a tender validity period of 90 days. The project was expected to be complete with 5 months, and the contractor would be charged the LAD of 3,000 ringgit per day if the project was complete later than the contractual completion date. So overall, selective tendering was chosen because it reduced the risk of selecting inexperienced contractors while still maintaining healthy competition among qualified companies. Okay, next, this slide show the complete tendering process used in this project. So the process began with the invitation to tender, where selected contractors were invited to participate. Next, a tender briefing and site visit were conducted on 31 March 2011. So this gave the contractors a better understanding of the project requirements, site condition, and possible construction challenges before preparing their tender. After that, the tender document, including drawings, specification, bill of quantities, and contract condition, were issued to all invited contractors. So the contractors then prepared and submitted their tenders before the closing date. On 12 April 2011, the tenders were officially opened and forwarded to the QS consultant for detailed evaluation. So during the evaluation stage, the consultant checked the tender price, technical capability, contractor experience, and financial strength. If necessary, tender clarification was carried out before the consultant prepared their recommendation for the client. So finally, the client award the contractor to the contractor who provide the best overall value, considering both technical and financial aspect, rather than price alone. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fakir bin Azmi, and I will explain the form of contract used for this project. The project used the PAM standard form of building contract, which is the most common contract used for private buildings projects in Malaysia. The PAM contract provides a clear legal framework between the client and the contractor. It clearly explains the roles and responsibilities of each party and covers important aspects such as contract administrations, payments, variance, extension of times, also known as EOT, practical completions, and dispute resolutions. For this project, the contract period was 5 months, and the liquidated and ascertained damage, or LAD, was RM 3,000 per day if the contractor failed to complete the project on time. Overall, the PAM form of contract helps ensure that the project is managed fairly, clearly, and efficiently. The next one is tender evaluation findings. After comparing the tender price, the consultants carried out a detailed evaluations. A total of 9 tenders were received and 8 of them contained arithmetic error. However, after the corrections were made, the tender rankings remains unchanged. Beside the tender price, the consultants also evaluated the contractors based on their experience, technical capability, financial strengths, and supporting documents. Only 2 contractors had previous experience in constructing a KFC outlets, while 4 contractors failed to provide sufficient supporting documents. Therefore, the consultants conclude that the contractor should not be selected based only on the lowest price. Instead, they recommend selecting the contractor that offer the best value for money, considering both price and overall capability. And that's all from me. Thank you. Next is tender evaluations based on price comparisons. The consultant first compare all tender prices with the pre-tender estimates or PTE, which was RM 2.39 million. Among all the tenderers, Low Tion and Son submitted the lowest tender price of 2.14 million, which was 10.3% lower than the PTE. The second lowest was Kejuruteraan Telemek LNS, with a tender price of RM 2.395 million, only 0.21% higher than the PTE. The third lowest was Hasrat Gemilang, with a tender price of RM 2.428 million, which was 1.57% higher than the PTE. From these comparisons, we can see that the consultants did not only compare the tender price, but they also considered whether each tender price was reasonable and suitable for the project.
So finally, I will be presenting about the award of contract for this project. So based on the tender evaluation report, the successful contractor was not officially stated. However, based on the consultant's evaluation and our analysis, Kejuruteraan Telemed LNS Sdn Bhd was considered the most suitable contractor for this project. Even though Law Tune and Son Sdn Bhd submitted the lowest tender price of 2.114 million ringgit, the consultant identified several problems. So the company did not provide sufficient supporting documents, and some construction items were priced significantly lower than the consultant's pretended estimate. So these issues can increase the risk of delays, variation, or financial problems during the construction. On the other hand, Kejuruteraan Telemed LNS Sdn Bhd submitted a tender price that was only 0.21% higher than the pre-tender estimate. The company also shows that they have enough experience and the capability to carry out the project. So this case study shows that contractor selection should not only be based on the lower tender price alone. Other factors such as technical capability, experience, financial strength, and supporting documents are also important before making the final recommendation. So next, as we can see here, these are the supporting documents that are used in this case study. The first one is Appendix A that contains the original tender evaluation report obtained from the quantity surveying consultant. This report includes the tender evaluation, tender comparison, contractor ranking, and the consultant's recommendation. So the second one is Appendix B, which contains about the tender documents that were issued to all of the invited contractor before the tender submission. So these documents include the letter of invitation, instruction to tenderers, form of tender, drawings, specifications, and conditions of contract. These original project documents were used as the main source of information throughout our case study. Therefore, all of our findings and analysis were based on the actual project documents rather than assumptions. So, in conclusion, this case study demonstrated how the traditional procurement system was implemented in the KFC Temboloh project. The project followed the design build approach where the design was completed before the tender process began. The project also involved the clear roles and responsibilities among the client, consultant, and contractor throughout the procurement process. In addition, the tender evaluation showed that the contractor selection was not based on only the lowest tender price. The consultant also considered about the technical capability, experience, financial strength, and supporting documents before making the final recommendation. Finally, the use of PAM, form of contract, PAM, provided a clear framework for managing the contractual relationship during the construction stage. So that's all from us. Thank you.